Hey, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Make Today Mammoth. I am your host, Dallas Hardcastle. I am excited for this one because this, I believe, is the most impactful thing you can do to get your business on track, thriving, and growing faster than any other method or modality I am familiar with. This episode is going to slay, and I hope that you will take immediate action and use this to get your business soaring. Hey there, welcome to today's episode. Again, I'm your host, Dallas Hardcastle. I am so grateful for you to be here with us today. If this is your first time checking us out, welcome to the show. If you are a returning viewer or listener, thank you so much for stopping back in. We appreciate you being here like crazy. And as always, if you would like to just take a minute, it's the only thing we ask. If you would just it takes 30 seconds, I think, maybe even less than that, and give us a 5-star review or leave us a comment, or if you decide you'd like to subscribe to this channel. Why we ask for these 5-star reviews is it's so important because what it does is it pushes us up into the algorithm and it allows other people, perhaps like you, an opportunity to be able to find us, to be able to locate that help they need, to be able to grow, to be able to do better, to be able to thrive, succeed, get themselves into a better place in life. And we do this show and we spend a lot of time and energy, of course, and money to do this for free for you. So we would love to be able to help as many people as we can. So in the coming months and years, this is listened to hundreds of thousands and even millions of times, and we can really make a difference. So with that said, in today's episode, this is the thing that changed the trajectory of my business, and I see it change the trajectory of almost every other person's business as soon as they put themselves in the position to be able to make this happen. What am I talking about? I am talking about the quickest way to be able to change who you are is to be able to change up your environment. This is the most tried and true thing. It is a transformational truth. It is a global reality, but so many people look past it or decide not to act on it because they think it maybe just isn't that big of a difference to them, or maybe that they can somehow make it or do okay without it. Let me give you some real specific examples. If you are someone who is looking to grow your business, grow your finances, if your current circle of friends are not a bunch of super savvy, super successful, financially doing amazing individuals, chances are you're going to be hanging out and you're going to be in that exact same temperature of water. You hear this stuff all the time, but because we hear it all the time, sometimes it becomes trite and we wind up ignoring it because, I've heard that 100 times. You've heard that you're going to be the sum of the average of like the 5 closest friends around you. If you are hanging around 5 decamillionaires, guess where you probably are? Because you're hearing how they think. You're seeing how they act. You're watching their behaviors, their habits, what those cool things are that you've never even thought of, that investment, that business, that opportunity, that property, that partnership that they are looking at and they're saying, oh yeah, we're looking for $100,000 to put here, or we're looking for $250,000 to do there, or we're collecting money. We're looking for investors because we got this $4.5 million thing. So we're looking for some people to invest in this thing so we can do this big thing to get this big return. Everything about that just changes the way that you're thinking. If you are someone who was overweight, let's say you're 50 pounds overweight, let's say you're 100 pounds overweight, I can guarantee you what would be the quickest, best way for you to be able to lose that weight is to be able to go and move yourself out of your current environment. And if you went away and you were put on an island with, and just say you're on that island for 6 months and it's you, and let's just say you're 50 pounds overweight, and then there's 10 other people on that island and they are all triathletes, Olympians, and all they do is work out, eat high nutrition performance foods, whole, dense, rich, nutritious foods that give them vitality and energy. And then they make sure they take care of their bodies, and they make sure they're getting in their sleep, and they make sure they're taking care of their mental well-being while they're healing and resting their physical self. If you went there for 6 months and you were 50 pounds overweight, I can just almost guarantee you what you would look like 6 months later, because you would be around these 10 other people that's just the norm. That's just what they do. When you're looking over and you're like thinking about reaching over to grab that extra thing and none of them are doing it, when you're like, oh, I was kind of thinking of taking a nap, and all 10 of them are like, hey, we're going to go to the beach and we're going to swim for an hour, or we're going to go surf, or we're going to go climb, or we're going to go run, or we're going to go do some push-ups, or we're going to go look for this amazing kind of food. Like, that would just be the thing you would begin to adapt. So when I talk about changing your environment, I mean specifically the quickest way I know to do this on the planet is to find a mastermind that you jive with, that makes sense to you, that allows you to grow. Paid masterminds, the first one when I joined it back in 2010, to say that it changed the trajectory of where I was heading would be a ridiculous understatement. The leader of this mastermind wound up going on to just do huge things. I mean, I was catching him just as he was beginning his upward trajectory, this gentleman, Clay Collins, and he went on to find the company Lead Pages, co-found Lead Pages, and then that company went on to have, tens of thousands, if not, I think, hundreds of thousands of customers. I mean, it became this huge Lead Pages. Being around those people, it was what I needed. And I want to bring this point home to you. If you're a business owner, 0.03% of the country are business owners. I just had read this recently. I'm putting faith in this statistic being accurate, but 0.03% of the country are business owners. So if you're with 5 of your friends and they're not business owners, you're already kind of in this different world anyway. But if you're just hanging around a bunch of business owners, just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you're extraordinary, right? It just means that you're certain proclivities and risk averse and whatever, and you want to go out and have your freedoms and your income and go out and do good things. I love you as an entrepreneur. I respect you as a business owner. You are my people, my tribe, of course. But it also doesn't mean you're extraordinary. It just means you've chosen this path. But all too many business owners, of course, just create jobs for themselves, and they are not doing any better than if they were just doing a job working for somebody else. It just feels better that they're doing a job working for themselves. More power to them. But that's not enough. If you want to be an elite business owner, an elite coach, an elite consultant, an elite entrepreneur, someone who leads a team, who makes an impact, who changes the world, who can make a lot of money and give away a lot of money and invest a lot of money and grow this footprint that really makes a difference in this world, you will be required at some point to put yourself into a situation where you are with other people that are hopefully far doing better than you. Again, it's another easy thing to say. It's easy to hear it a million times and then dismiss it. But you want to look for that high level room, because you don't want to be the smartest one in the room. You don't want to be the one making the most money in the room. It is the difference it makes. And I promise you, I've been there. Like I've done this several times in my life. I've invested multiple 6 figures over the years in myself, because it's the only way I can grow and expand. Walking into a mastermind and knowing that probably every single person in the first meeting that I went to, there was 15, 16 other people in this room, knowing that I probably was one of the bottom financial producers in that room, was both intimidating, anxiety provoking, and also inspiring, all at the same time. I had to really get myself up to go there because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be at the bottom rung, bottom rung, bottom rung. So that's the one voice, right? I'm at the bottom rung. Oh my God, everyone's doing better than me. But then that other voice is like, hey, but everyone's doing better than you. Like, this is the place to be. Walking in there and having people that were investing $6,000 a day in Facebook ads, people that were doing $200,000 a month in income, people that owned, hundreds of properties, people in there who had multiple homes and multiple like high-end luxury vehicles and flew private. As I say, there's mixed emotions in there, right? Because I wasn't with that. I wasn't there. I was going in there, limping in, making, having $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 months at the time. And just going back to a mastermind in what was it, in 2015, about 7, 8 years ago. And I feel like I'm limping in there. And meanwhile, there's people in there running $200,000 a month webinars. And I'm trying to get consistent $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 months at that time. Vast difference. But when you're in the room with these people, when you're in the room with the folks who are traveling, who sometimes spend months or years traveling the world, they have multiple homes, they have teams, they understand how to save money, invest money, they know how to safeguard their money, they know how to park their money. They understand how to hire people, how to lead people, how to be able to leverage their time, create their freedoms, make a difference. When they understand how to be first-class money makers, like people that can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, sometimes can make tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day. In a day. I spent a year with that group. How do you think that changed me? How do you think it would change you? So friends, I'm asking you, if you are ready to change your trajectory, the number one thing, in my opinion, you can do, like when you're investing in yourself and you're going to a conference or a workshop or a seminar, fill in the blank, you're hiring yourself a coach or a consultant of your own, fantastic, huge applause. Invest in you, invest in you. You can't go wrong. It's impossible to go wrong. You invest in yourself and you're just adding another brick to that bridge that allows you to be able to grow and cross and get bigger and better and more amazing. So massive kudos. But in my opinion, the only thing that beats hiring a coach or a consultant in that is joining a mastermind so that now you get the opportunity to spend lengths of time with groups of people that are like you, but hopefully a lot better than you. So you get to learn not just from the mastermind leader, but if there's 20, 30, 40, 50 people in this mastermind, you're learning from 20, 30, 40, 50 people over months and years. You're getting to emulate it. You're getting to have it be normal. The flying first class is normal. Flying private becomes normal. Staying in the amazing hotels is normal. Saying, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and create another, multiple six-figure month is normal. Yeah, we're going to hire 2 or 3 more people is normal. Getting a second home, normal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When that's normal, you begin thinking that way because you're around these 20 or 30 people that are doing this and they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and generate another $1 million in the next few months so that we can do this. And you're like, well, how are you going to do that? Oh, we're just going to do this and then we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And you're like, well, I could do those things. You're like, of course you can. You're like, huh. So you do those 3 things and that's going to make you guys $1 million? Like, oh yeah, every time. Huh. Interesting. Interesting how that works. So friend, I implore you, do this for yourself. Do this. If you're looking at it and saying, Dallas, but I don't have the money, but it's going to be uncomfortable, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to make this work. Welcome to the world of almost everyone I've ever known that's joined masterminds. The lie that we tell ourselves that like, oh, if only I could afford it, all those people in the masterminds must be able to afford it. It must be easy for them. Friends, it's just not the case. Like the first high-end person I hired, I freaking didn't have the money and I had to hustle and figure out how to make the money. And then the next month I had to make another payment, the next month another, and next month another. I was having to go at it to make this thing work. The first mastermind I joined, it was a $50,000 a year, not the first mastermind, but the next mastermind. So I joined the first one that was $15,000 a year, my first $50,000 a year paid mastermind. Did I have $50,000 laying around? No, I did not. But I knew that that was the place I needed to be. I knew I needed to figure it out. It's not about the resources I had. It was about becoming resourceful. Friend, that is the takeaway. Please, that is the punchline. Be resourceful for you. Figure out a way for you to be able to come up with whatever that investment is, because you're investing in you. And now you can have several bricks, maybe 10, maybe 20 bricks that you're now adding and building to this bridge, this pathway that's taking you over to this desired success where you want to be, because you are literally compounding the amount of information, compounding the successes, compounding the great winning stories of all of the people in the mastermind. And now you will become like them. You spend a year hanging around people just like you, unfortunately, you're probably going to remain at that same place about like you. You spend a year hanging out with people that are broke and that are apathetic and don't really have any drive or goals or ambition. Things get tough. A year later, you're like, yeah, we can kind of chill. Yeah, we could watch a little more TV. We can play some more video games. We could hang out. I could nap some more, sleep some more. Put yourself in a year of an environment with people that are generating 2 times, 3 times, 10 times the amount of business you are. They understand traffic sources like you never have. They understand marketing ways you never have. They understand ways to sell you never have, ways to automate things, way to leverage things, way to hire, way to train, ways to lead. It is such a massive difference maker. Find yourself a mastermind of like-minded people. Reach out to the leader, figure it out right away, and then go and get resourceful. If you don't have the money, get resourceful. It's not about the resources you have. If you got to pay X dollars to join it and you have half those X dollars or a quarter of those X dollars, become resourceful like every other member probably in that mastermind. Like all of the great business stories you've ever heard, the time came where they had to be resourceful, where they needed to come up with $1 million and they had about 20,000 sitting at the bank. And they had to go out and get resourceful. Or maybe it was just they needed 50,000 and they had $100 sitting in the bank account. They had to get resourceful to make this happen. I want to see you be resourceful too, so you can be the holder of these amazing opportunities. Friends, this is Dallas Hardcastle, and today I am so grateful for you to be here. I hope this has been truly useful. Find the mastermind, get resourceful, get in there, get around other amazing, super high-performing people, and watch how it changes the way you think, do, be, act, and grow forward in your business. Friends, I appreciate you. Dallas Hardcastle signing off here. As always, just make today mammoth, my friends, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care.